Hello, I'm Julia Alperovich. I host the Undressing the Issue podcast. And since you rarely get to see me talk in person, I've decided to record a video. I do think it's important because of the topic I wanted to discuss, which is the upcoming holidays. Holidaze spelled Holidaze for some people. So this year in particular is sort of strange because of COVID. And as much as people want to see their family members, for some people, it's going to be impossible because of travel restrictions, or it's going to be difficult because they don't want to endanger family members who might be vulnerable. So, for that reason, because you may not be able to see your loved ones, I figured at least you could see me. If that's not narcissistic, I don't know what is. But holidays tend to be a really busy time, for me at least, as a therapist. And what I've noticed is that it's really activating for people. So just the dread of having to see certain family members, especially if there's tensions that exist there, or at times even just the preparation, if you're having house guests, if you're hosting, and everything that's entailed in that. Now, there's different reasons for that preparation anxiety. I know that some of us have family members who are very critical and judgmental, and we worry about what they're going to think when they come to our homes about our tablescape or our cooking, or if our house is clean, and they do the white glove check, which is nerve-wracking. That's a lot of pressure. I know that not every corner of my house is going to pass the white glove check, but this all leads up to this really tense buildup leading to the holidays. So there's that piece of it. There's also, some of the relationships that we may be able to avoid, or at least expose ourselves to at a minimum throughout the year. But there is this sort of unspoken pressure to get together with your family and to see people who you may not want to see, or who you feel you have to see but wouldn't if you had a choice. So I know some people will actually take trips, take vacations, do the holidays at a different time, or keep their holiday gatherings small. Luckily, this year with COVID, you have a legitimate excuse to do that. So that makes things a little bit easier, but sometimes you don't. So how do you handle having to wait the remaining few days that we have left before Thanksgiving, and then the month after that until Hanukkah and Christmas and the rest of the end of the year holidays? How do you handle managing the anxiety, managing the stress, and also managing the dread of dealing with either having house guests or seeing people you don't want to see, or the cleanup that's going to be required afterwards? There's all sorts of things that play into the holidays. Well, first off, I think it's important to talk about our expectations. We all imagine something when we think of the holidays. When I say Thanksgiving, for example, what comes into my mind is turkey and overeating and having to spend an entire day at somebody's house, schmoozing, being nice, and putting on a happy face. And this year, for example, I'm hosting. So now I'm also thinking about things I still need to buy. I got to go to the grocery store, probably need to make more than one run. What's my menu going to look like? What time is everyone gathering? How do I plan ahead for everything I'm cooking? Do I need to get my house cleaned ahead of time, or do I need to do cleaning? It's a lot of pressure, but The other piece of it is, luckily it's going to be a small gathering, but there are times where there are people who you don't know very well or who you don't know at all who are invited by other guests of yours who may not be your favorite humans. So, how do you handle that? Or in some cases, with some of my clients, they have secrets from their family members, things that may be going on in their marriages or in their own homes. Things may be turbulent or rocky, and they may not have told other family members that they're going to be seeing. So there's this pressure to either keep up the secret or try to resist spilling it or planning on spilling it, and all of the anxiety that goes into the anticipation of that. So there are a lot of different things that weigh people down around this time of year. Obviously, finances is another issue that can be weighing people down because Christmas time has turned into a retail holiday and people feel obligated to give gifts. And for some people in their lives, to give gifts of a certain monetary value. So, back to the point, how do you handle this? Well, first off, understand that expectations are nothing more than expectations. Okay? It's not reality. You can't predict the future. You also can't control everything that's going to happen. And you're also human, as is everybody else that you're going to be spending your holiday with. So you do have to remember that as much as you want it to be picture perfect, like something out of a Hallmark Channel movie, if it doesn't go perfectly or if there is a mishap, you have people there who it could happen to them and who can help you, that you can enlist in completing some tasks or helping you with something, or jumping in and helping you manage a crisis if it happens. These aren't world leaders and dignitaries that are coming to your house, at least for most of us it's not, that you have to impress. This is family, and family should be people who are supportive, and you should be able to rely on them for that support. And if you feel like you can't, and instead everything has to be perfect because you're fearing judgment from them, can you even still consider them family? I'm not sure. And are these people that you really want to have in your life on that level? I like to look at holidays where people gather as times when you can just relax and enjoy and just be celebratory. But it doesn't have to be a show. It doesn't have to be this performance that you put on. And for a lot of people, it feels that way. And that's what makes it difficult. But what would actually happen if you didn't perform and if you were just yourself and nobody else? What if you didn't have your hair perfectly done, your outfit wasn't, perfect, if you were more casual, if you had a more relaxed demeanor, if you spoke your mind, spoke your truth, if you were authentic to who you are? Would the people at your gathering be shocked or reject you? And if so, what does that say about them and who they are to you? I think that might be a more important question than, are they going to be disappointed? Are they going to walk away and talk about me? So what if they are? I think there's this buildup and expectation that turns into a forged and forced reality for people, that it has to go a certain way, it has to look a certain way, I have to come off a certain way, everybody who attends has to leave feeling a certain way. And the reality is you have no control over that. Zero. I mean, you don't really have control over much of anything, but maybe you should consider having a stress-free get together with your family and your loved ones versus a holiday gathering. If you consider it just a get together versus a Thanksgiving dinner and meal and celebration and all of this, I think it takes some of the pressure off. You're not on a date. You're not trying to make a good first impression. For most of us, we're not seeing new people on these holidays. We're seeing people who we know for a long time, most of us, or at least we know pretty well. So why are we still trying to be on our best behavior? They know us. They should know us. And if they don't know us, or if they don't know the true us, well, that's a deeper question. Why have we kept the true version of ourselves from these people? And what are we afraid is going to happen if they did know the true version of ourselves? My family, for example, my parents, even my husband's family, they know me. They know I'm sassy. They know I'm a straight shooter. And they know I don't suffer fools lightly. And so I don't hold back on that. I'm not going in guns a-blazing looking to pick a fight, but they also know that I'm going to speak my mind and I'm going to call somebody out if I need to. Luckily, I haven't had to all that often, but they know my character. And if they didn't, or if I felt like I couldn't bring that in, I wouldn't consider them my family. The other piece of it is for those of you who cannot see your family, or because of travel restrictions, or you're choosing not to because you have family members who are older or immunocompromised, you know, in not seeing them, you're actually performing a very loving gesture because you're trying to ensure that you can see them and that they will still be around in Thanksgiving of 2021. You're protecting them, and there's a lot to be said for that. So as much as it may feel lonely and it may be heartbreaking, and I understand that it is, you also have to consider that you're doing the right thing, you're being responsible, you're being considerate and caring, and you're being smart. We are in a pandemic still. And aside from COVID, we're in our regularly scheduled flu season as well. So minimizing exposure out of concern for our loved ones to not unnecessarily expose them is a good thing to do. And to go and see them when we don't absolutely have to, when we can wait a little bit until things cool down with this pandemic, in some ways, this is going to sound judgy, but it's kind of selfish. It's you only taking care of your own loneliness rather than thinking about other people. And even though you may not be immunocompromised, other people may be, and that's dangerous. I think overall, I wish everybody a good holiday, however you choose to celebrate it, whether you're on your own, in your couch, in your couch. I don't know how you do that, but maybe sitting on your couch. It's been a long day, can you tell? With a plate of, I don't know, a turkey sandwich rather than carved turkey and all the sides, or whether you are able to see your family safely, however that works, if you all get tested ahead of time, or you wear masks, or you maintain a safe distance and do it outdoors. I do wish you a good holiday season, and I do want you to understand that you're not alone in your anxiety, in your anticipation, in, this preparatory tension and dread for having this one specific day that we've decided has to be special actually be not only special, but perfect. It can be perfectly imperfect and still be okay. And you can still enjoy it, even if it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to. And if you are alone on this holiday, if you cannot see your relatives, you can always reach out, you can always call them, you can always do a FaceTime or a Zoom. You can also see if you can get together with your chosen family, friends, people who are near you, who you know have been safe, who you can spend time with on this holiday as well. It doesn't have to go exactly a certain way for it to still be enjoyable. And I think that's the thing to remember. So, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And if I don't speak to you until then, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Take care.